I usually don't match my trousers with my shirts, but today is a holiday, so I can afford to be more leisurely. You see, I have these 4 shirts and 3 pants, and I'd like to build the perfect attire. So I can take shirt number 2 and pant number 1 to build an attire, 2 and 1, or I can take shirt number 1 and pant number 2 to build an attire. Hey, 2-1 was not the same as 1-2, right? Well, you may ask, in how many ways can I build attires out of this wardrobe? I'm going to talk about that and plenty more in this episode. Hi, this is Shankar and you're watching me on Math 11. Let me tell you something. Mathematical problems are the only ones that are easy to solve without memorizing anything. If you get the concept right, you're 3/4 of the distance there. Now you know why I became a mathematician. In this episode, we are going to learn about ordered pairs and use it to define what is known as Cartesian products of sets. You will also get to learn tips and tricks on how to crack your exams. People love to relate different things to each other. For example, the height that a tree gains in a year could be related to the amount of rainfall received in that area. We can build up a list like 2001, a gain of 10 inches, 2002, a gain of 15 inches, 2003, a gain of 13 inches, and so on. These combinations are called ordered pairs. What we have just described is a relation between years and height increase in inches. Order, you see, is important here. 2001 10 is vastly different from 10 2001. The first piece of data says that the tree grew by 10 inches in 2001. The second is a bit far-fetched. The tree grew by 2001 inches in AD 10. Now that's what I would call a miracle. But since there's more to logic than to miracle in mathematics, let's move along and learn how to link pairs of objects in a certain order. Say, for example, I have a colorful collection of geometrical shapes. So what's the shortest way to describe the shapes that we have here? Let me take a shot. Red triangle, right? Green triangle. Red square, green square, green circle. Hey, there's got to be a better way, right? Notice 2 things. First, there are only 2 colors, green and red, and we can put them into a set C, C for color. Second, there are 3 basic shapes, which we can put into a set S, S for shapes. They are circle, triangle, square. Now we can describe the entire collection as a product of the 2 sets C and S. Fix an element in the set of colors C and then range it over the shapes in S. Fixing the color red, we get the pairs red circle, red triangle, and finally red square. Similarly, you can get the rest of the pairs. Putting these pairs into one big set gives me the collection of shapes that I have out here. So what have we just done? We have listed out the elements in the Cartesian product of C and S, which we denote by C cross S. Ever wonder why C cross S is called Cartesian product? Remember your coordinate geometry. Now, in a coordinate plane, how are your points represented? That's right, as ordered pairs. Going further, the entire coordinate plane is simply the Cartesian product of the set of real numbers R with a copy of itself. A French mathematician called René Descartes conceived all of this. And there's more. Have a look. One day while lying in his bed, René Descartes, a French mathematician, also known as Renatus Cartesius, solved the problem of locating a point in a plane. His method was based on the older idea of latitude and longitude. Simple idea, but its influence in mathematics is quite phenomenal. The Cartesian coordinate system that is used in plane geometry and algebra is named after him. And he was one of the key figures in the scientific revolution. Descartes to Cartes to Cartesian. There, you have it. Alright, now let's formally define all the concepts. Ordered pair. If A and B are any two non-empty sets, then an ordered pair is a pair of elements written in small brackets and grouped together in a particular order. For example, A comma B such that A belongs to A, B belongs to B is an ordered pair. Cartesian product of two sets. If A and B are any two non-empty sets, the Cartesian product A cross B is the set of all ordered pairs of elements of sets from A and B, defined as follows. A cross B is equal to the set of all elements AB such that A lies in A and B lies in B. The Cartesian product is also known as the product set. Even though the notation A cross B may be intimidating, remember that it's nothing but a set. Its elements are ordered pairs now instead of simpler elements like numbers. That's all. Now can you guess how many subsets the Cartesian product A cross B has? We have A cross B is equal to the sets of ordered pairs AB such that A lies in A, B lies in B. Now remember the notation n of A, number of elements in A. Now let's say n of A is equal to m and n of B is equal to n. Then n of A cross B is m times n. Consequently, the number of subsets of the product A cross B is 2 to the power of mn. Now, can we say that the ordered pair 2, 3 is equal to the ordered pair 3, 2? We know that the points P, 2, 3 and Q, 3, 2 are represented by different points in the Cartesian plane. Don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. Also, the word ordered itself means that the order in which the two elements of the pair occur is important. Remember, we always wear the shirt first and the blazer later, not the other way around. Yes, still the norms of fashion don't change, but by that time, there would have been an equivalent change in mathematics as well. Okay, now the next most obvious question that you're going to turn around and ask me is, when are two ordered pairs equal? See, you're thinking like a mathematician. Two ordered pairs A comma B and C comma D are said to be equal if A is equal to C and B is equal to D. Take for example the equation 2x plus 1 comma y minus 1 is equal to 1 comma 3. Now by this requirement, the ordered pairs are equal if 2x plus 1 is equal to 1 and y minus 1 is equal to 3. Solving this, we get x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 4. One word of caution, avoid using curly braces for your ordered pairs. Curly brace A comma B is reserved for the set whose elements are A and B. Remember, when we deal with sets, we have curly brace A comma B is equal to curly brace B comma A. But for ordered pairs, we explicitly have A comma B is not equal to B comma A unless A is equal to B. Well, we all have problems, but since math problems are the only ones that have a surety, I'm going to help you out. But after this very quick break. Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, I'm Shankar and you're watching Math 11. This is the one place where I solve all of your mathematical problems. So, shall we hear out a problem?
Hello sir, my name is Anubhav and what I want to know is what happens to A cross B if any of the sets A or B is empty.
Thanks Anubhav. I was in fact waiting for that question. Now, if any of the sets A or B or both are empty, then the set A cross B will also be empty and consequently the number of elements n of A cross B is equal to 0. Similarly, if any of the sets A or B is infinite, then A cross B, you're right, is also an infinite set. Till now we have defined the Cartesian product of two sets. Now it's time we extended this definition to more than two sets. Suppose we have the three sets A, B and C. Then A cross B cross C is given as a set of ordered triples A comma B comma C, where A lies in A, B lies in B and C lies in C. A comma B comma C is known as an ordered triplet. And of course, A comma B comma C is equal to D comma E comma F if and only if A is equal to D, B is equal to E and C equal to F. It easily follows that if the number of elements in A is M, the number of elements in the set B is N, and in the set C you have P elements, then the set A cross B cross C will have M times N times P elements. Now let's go over the properties of the Cartesian products of sets. The Cartesian product is not commutative. Namely, A cross B is not the same as B cross A unless A and B are equal. It is associative, namely A cross B cross C is the same as A cross B cross C. Neither the inverse nor the identity exists for the Cartesian product. In this way, it does not behave like regular multiplication of numbers. And lastly, the Cartesian product of an infinite set and a non-empty set is plain infinite. Not to say that it's difficult, but it'll force you to think a little more. So here goes. We are given A cross B and we have to find out the sets A and B. Sounds interesting, right? Let A cross B equal x comma A, x comma B, y comma A and y comma B. Now how do we deconstruct this into sets A and B? Simple. Take the first parts of the ordered pairs and put them into a set A. Remember, no repetitions. Take the second parts and put them into a set B. You can actually double check this by writing out A cross B, and if you get back the given pairs, you're on the right track. Along with this, suppose you're asked to find out the number of subsets of A cross B. Then it's very easy. N of A cross B is 4, right? 4 ordered pairs. So the number of subsets of A cross B would be 2 to the power of 4, which is 16. Therefore, A cross B will have 16 subsets. In our next question, if A is equal to 1, 2, B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, C is equal to 5, 6, and D is equal to 5, 6, 7, 8. We are asked to verify that A cross C is a subset of B cross D. By observation, we can deduce that all the elements of A cross C are also elements in B cross D. This is simply because A is a subset of B and C is a subset of D. Therefore, A cross C is a subset of B cross D. Now have the result. If A is a subset of B and C is a subset of D, then A cross C is a subset of B cross D. Alright, I think it's safe to say that a break is in order. On the other side of this break is the exam decoded segment, which will give you the all-important edge for your examinations. So stay tuned. Hi, you're back to Math 11. I'm Shankar and we are together on our journey through this wonderful world of mathematics. Today we have an important guest, but before that, let's do a quick recap. An ordered pair is a pair of elements grouped together in a particular order. The Cartesian product A cross B of two non-empty sets is given by A cross B is equal to ordered pair A comma B, where A belongs to A, B belongs to B, and it's the set of all such ordered pairs. If set A has M and set B has N elements, then the Cartesian product A cross B will have, right, M times N elements. The number of subsets of A cross B, where A has M elements and B has N elements, is given by 2 to the power of M times N. The Cartesian product of three sets A cross B cross C is the set of ordered triplets A comma B comma C, where A is in A, B is in B, and C is in C. Here, A comma B comma C is known as an ordered triplet. Get your pen and papers ready. It's time I tested your understanding of what we've studied today with my rapid fire quiz. Don't forget to give yourself 1 mark for every right answer. So, let's get started. Here's question number 1. If x minus 1 comma y plus 1 is equal to 5 comma 6, then the values of x and y are given by A, x is equal to 5, y equal to 6. B, x is equal to 6, y is equal to 5. C, x is equal to 5, y equal to 3. And D, x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Bang on. The answer is B. Question number 2. If A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, B is equal to 2, 3, then find n of A cross B intersection phi. Your options are A, 0, B, 4, C, 8, D, 16. The correct answer is A. Question number 3. If A is equal to minus 1, 1, then n of A cross A is equal to option A, 0, option B, 4, option C, 8, option D, 16. The correct option is C. Here's question number 4. If P is equal to the set of x such that x is in Z minus 1 less than x less than 3, and Q is equal to all of n, then the set P cross Q is A, empty set, B, finite set, C, infinite set, D, not defined. The correct answer is C, as one of the sets taken in the Cartesian product is infinite. Here's your last question. If n of A is equal to 2 and n of B is equal to 3, then find the number of elements in the power set of A cross B. Your options are A, 0, B, 64, C, 8, D, 16. The correct answer is B, as n of A cross B is equal to 6, so P of A cross B is equal to 2 to the power of 6, which is equal to 64. Let's check your scorecard. If you have bagged 5 points, then you're a topper high flyer. 3 to 4 points make you an achiever. Below 3, is that your score? Then you need more practice. Log on to www.topperlearning.com for online tests and more practice problems. You can also check the schedule and watch the repeat telecast of this episode to get a better grasp of the topic. This topic is important from the examination point of view. It forms the basis for the study of relations, functions, and calculus. This topic is a part of the unit Sets and Functions, which is worth 29 marks in the final exam. And that's quite a lot of marks, right? You got it. You're likely to be tested on conceptual skills from this topic. You can expect questions worth 1 or 4 marks, and since I promised you an advantage, let me take you through an ideal answer based on conceptual skills. So, pay attention. This question is worth 4 marks. Given the set P is equal to x such that x is in Z and minus 1 less than x less than 3, Q is the set of all x in N such that x is less than 3, find P cross P union Q and Q cross P intersection Q for these sets. How many elements are there in P cross Q? The trick here is to realize that even though Z stands for the entire set of integers and N stands for all of the natural numbers, both of which are infinite, the sets P and Q are both finite. Writing these sets in the roster form and finding P union Q, we have P is equal to 0, 1, 2 and Q is equal to 1, 2. So, P union Q is equal to 0, 1, 2. You get half a mark. P intersection Q is equal to 1, 2. You get another half a mark. Therefore, P cross P union Q is given by the set of ordered pairs 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1 and 2, 2. You get 1 mark for this. Similarly, Q cross P intersection Q is given by the set of ordered pairs 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1 and 2, 2. You get 1 mark for this. Now P cross Q has 6 elements because P and Q have 3 and 2 elements respectively. Alright, let's go to our guest now who has some important exam pointers. Listen carefully.
Hi everybody, I'm Taruni. With regards to this topic, I would like to share with you a few pointers. Remember, the order in which the elements are chosen is important. You must also remember the formula for the number of elements in the Cartesian product of sets. This will help you in cross-checking your answer later.
Thank you for those valuable pointers. This is Shankar saying, practice makes a man perfect. Try it out and it actually works. So keep practicing till we meet the next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye and cheers.